Word. Word. Hey, yo, welcome to Read What You Sow. We got Novabigsteppa in the building. And Miss Bigsteppa.
What's up?
Before we even get into everything else, what brought about the name change?
So I changed the name because Novocaine was like already like a rock band. Like they kept popping up in my music and it was getting mixed up with my distributor. So I was like, yo, I need something unique so that like when people search my name, only I pop up. I wanted to just do Nova, but that's taken, and mad stuff pops up when you type in Nova. So I'm like, all right, I'm just brainstorming different names. I wanted to do like Nova the Legend. I had all kinds of names mapped out, but all of it was taken. So one day she's like, yo, babe, what do you think about Novabigsteppa? I was like, I got a ring to it. I like that. Let me see if it's taken. I searched it up. Nobody had it. I was like, yeah, we're going to run with it. We ran
Just
with
for
it.
the record, though, let me just say this. We did not know Bigsteppa meant shooter.
Yeah.
I just want to say
Let's get that shit out there, though.
It was a lingo that was going on, and it was new to me. I never heard it before, but a lot of people were using it, and I'm like, damn, I like the way that sounds when we put Novabigsteppa. And then we started noticing that people was pressing us like, so you a Bigsteppa, huh? You a Bigsteppa, huh? And we like, wait, what they talking about? So I looked it up on the Urban Dictionary, and it says somebody that really bang. I'm like, yo, I swear we did not know that, y'all. So now, just so y'all know, we use the term Bigsteppa to just mean that everything we do it big. Yeah. Everything we do, we 100 with everything we do. But it does not mean
shooter.
Yo, that's
just to clear the air about that.
That's such an important thing because I think a lot of times when we come to, like, my artist name, I came up with when I was super young. And then every now and then, like, as another Tony Blanco or some variation of that shit pop up, I'll be like, damn, just for branding purposes, sometimes I want to change my name. But then I start feeling like I had it first.
Yeah.
Every time I see a new Blanco, it's almost like, well, shit, but I had it first. Like, so now it becomes a race of whoever is the biggest is their name. Yeah. But then you could look at if Lil Baby and Da Baby could coexist at the top level, sometimes we just be overthinking it.
In our head too much.
Especially even with the Reaper music shit, like the way I spelled it in certain things, rock bands, it just be other stuff. And then you just get to a point where it's like, hey, we already did what we did. We running with it. It is what it is. If you want to have a name, nigga, you got to beat me for it.
Yeah, facts. you gotta get it back in blood.
But playing off of what she just said as far as people pressing y'all, right? Because I feel like as women in hip hop, and then with a portion of what people may perceive as your image more than your character, is you gonna get a lot of that weird shit on the internet where a nigga feel like, oh, she's trying to be a man, or she trying to be a nigga, and then you got Bigsteppa in the name too, and then now somebody's looking at it from the perspective, right? How they're perceiving it versus what it actually is. And people need to get to know your character, man, because I think you're a great person to be around. Like I said, every time I see you, smile a lot. I think coming from where we from, people don't smile enough. So that shit just bring a lot of positive energy as a whole. Like from the first time I ever met you, it was always just positive energy. Like, you know what I mean? Never no ego, no nothing. So another thing that I think you've been able to do very, very well is the first time I ever seen you was when Fab reposted you, and then everybody started reposting you, and I kind of been following ever since. We did I-95 together. We were the finalists on I-95 for the men and the women. That was a vibe for sure. How did that opportunity, change the trajectory of what you had going on in that time during the pandemic? Did it help?
No, for sure it did. Like, cause at the time that year in general, we wasn't working because of the pandemic. So like we was blessed enough for them to pay us while we stayed home. This is when we did have jobs, of course. And so everything was really just like content, so it was like Fab reposting me and everything. All that stuff was so clutch, and it just kind of was happening back to back. So then when Bars on 95 came up, I'm like, yeah, like that's a good look. You know what I'm saying? That's NCT, that's in the town. So let's do it. So when we did it, and the fact that I lasted all 3 rounds, it was just more content, and it was more of a chance for me to be visible. You know what I mean? So I felt like I don't feel like it helped in terms of like my following too much, but people sometimes will see me out and be like, yo, I seen you on bars on I-95. So it gave me like some validation in the town, I feel like, in a sense.
I get that a lot when I'm in New York.
Oh, yeah?
I get that a lot when I'm in New York, and niggas be like, I know this nigga from somewhere. And niggas be like, you was on bars on I-95. And I'm like, yeah, I was.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because I feel like I haven't been as active as I needed to be on the internet in these past 3-4 years, you know? So when somebody still come up to me and still know me for what I do, even though I have been inactive, I was like, all right, it did do enough.
Yeah,
it gave me a platform and put me in front of people. Since then, I've seen that you have, as far as people that I'm in contact with, you're one of the ones who has learned how to utilize the internet appropriately. And I've kind of watched your following go from 7 to 10,000 to 100K plus. So if it's any tips that you could give people out there in the town and at home, anywhere, just what would it be as far as utilizing the internet and how that helps when you do it effectively?
You gotta get active. Like, you have to. So, like, in this day and age, like, not even just this day and age, it's always been about visibility, like, people seeing you. You know what I'm saying? Like, people seeing what you're doing. Because it's like, a lot of the time when we're working behind the scenes, like, we'll be like, yo, I'm putting in this work, but nobody sees it. So it's basically like it's not happening. So I feel like with the internet, like, if you're trying to come up, you just gotta understand that there's something in your camera roll that can gain you 10 supporters, 20 supporters, 100 supporters. You just gotta have faith in it and put it out and just actually try when you're recording stuff. So, like, from what you're saying about my following, when Fab posted me, it jumped me to like, what was it? Where was I sitting at for a minute? Remember, I was sitting there for a while. Yeah, and then I sat at like, 13K for maybe like a year. And I'm talking about from December of last year, you know, it's December 2022 until now, I put up one post, and that one post did like 3 million views, and it shot my page to 100K. So it's like, but again, we got to talk about that post and where it came from. The reason why, so I put up a post of me performing at Major Stage, and I got that opportunity last minute. Like, that was usually something that I would have said no to because of how last minute it was. But, you know, I had made the decision. I'm like, yo, any opportunity that's coming my way, I'm going to take it. So if it's anybody trying to, you know, make it happen, you got to just take those opportunities and kind of just know when you can make something work. So I said yes to it last minute. Got the footage. She recorded the footage for me. Shout out, you know what I'm saying? She was behind the camera. And it was so last minute, it was crazy. Like, I did the show, and then it was a show that just so happened to be next that, shout outs to Pinky, one of her peoples was like, yo, I got a show that same day, you should come. And I was like, yo, I'm already be in the building. I gave them my thumb drive literally 5 minutes before my set. Did it, and look how that jumped my page. But what I'm saying is, like, sometimes this shit is going to be on the fly. I can't, like, we try to be too calculated.
The opportunity, you know, I just actually made a post about this, which was, people think opportunities are on their time. And the opportunities are on the time of the person presenting the opportunity. Yeah. And like you said, I've seen you doing the work. I don't pay attention to numbers as much because I just be doing other things. But I noticed, like, when I checked one day, I'm like, oh shit, sis had like 100K. Like, you feel me? So to say a single opportunity pushed me 100,000 followers, and it was last minute. But instead of complaining about it, you went and took the opportunity and did what you had to do. It put you in position. So a lot of times I think we miss out on shit is because we don't capitalize on opportunities being presented.
You always say
also, I would say opportunities may sometimes not look like opportunities. You know what I mean? So for a show like that, at this point, you know, we want to get paid. This is when this becomes your job, you start thinking of all the type of ways you could get money. You know, performing is one of them. We had spoke about it. We're like, yo, we don't want to do no more free shows, no more showcases.
Yeah, because
we only want to get paid for our shows from now on, which we've been doing a great job at. But something like that, if you're too worried about the money, you would have missed out on that opportunity because you're like, man, that's like a little showcase and I want to get paid for my shows now. So also just learning how to move and not always focus on the money and focus on the goal, the end goal. Because from that night, she probably gained 1 or 2 supporters, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 10. You're still gaining some type of momentum with any single person. That was all the way in Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? And Nova's name is actually pretty big in New York, probably bigger than in where she's from right now, you know what I'm saying? But It's more so like just understanding that everything is an opportunity. You just got to see how you can turn that into an outlet for you to get to where you need to be, pretty much.
That's dope. That's dope. I respect that a lot. Another thing we just talked about was another big single I seen you pushing was Bend Your Back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, feel me? So maybe I'm misinterpreting the song, because when I hear it, I want to get faded up. I'm trying to go to the club, grab something, and bend her back up, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I try to bend her up, nigga. So,
Nah, that's what everybody. Yo, I'm screaming.
What is you talking about?
Bro, the message I was trying to get across, bro. And if anybody has me on TikTok, they'll see if they go back to when I first previewed the song. I said, picture this. You're in a house party. It's hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted you to picture, like, not this club shit, this new standing on a couch with the most expensive bottle of liquor. That's not what it was about. This was like, yo, sweaty house party. They playing Soulja Boy Donk 5 times, but you don't care because it slaps every time. Like, I wanted this to be like a nostalgic vibe for them to remember, like, what it was like to really party. And so that's why I said, pull up to the party, I'll be there around 3, touchdown in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was never about sex.
Well,
but everybody interpreted that way. Look, and listen, I caught it, and I'm like, damn.
To defend the everybody, when I used to go to a house party, and niggas is underage drinking and shit like that, before the end of the night, you try and pick up the thought, go to the spot, and go crazy. Niggas drinking Parmesan.
Parmesan,
drinking and bullshitting, like, feel me? Like, so maybe I think a lot of people's brain is going to the gutter, because that was like, for me, I feel like back then, nigga, I ain't gonna hold you, I like combat sports, nigga. So if I could go to the club, have a good time, bag something, and see a nigga get beat up, I just had a great night. Like, like, feel me? Long as I don't have to fight in the moment, and I could just enjoy the scrap, the melee. I'm like, yeah, that was a good night. Long as niggas don't get popped or nothing like that. It's always just an extra thing to just be like, yeah, it was food, it was drink, we was having a good time, and somebody got whooped. Like,
yeah, I feel like that's the thing about music. Like, I love that it can be interpreted however you want. You know what I'm saying? The only person that really knows what they meant when they made it was the person that wrote the song. But a lot of people, like, they vibe with certain stuff because they're picturing it from their perspective of what they think it means.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I've seen so many genius interviews, and somebody say, yo, I was saying this, and I'm like, damn, that's not what I got.
Well, because then when you said, I know you like it like that, I feel like that's a common
when I said love it, I said love it when you do it like that.
I like when girls do certain things too.
But when you do it like that, like, you dancing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
I ain't dancing in a minute.
But I'm fine with people interpreting it as a sex song, because, you know, whatever's going to get you to listen. And I feel like people is shit. You want to play it in the bedroom when you're doing what you're doing. I'm sure you're doing that whatever time throughout the day. I'm getting a stream.
You said you gonna be there around 3, so you talking about 3 p.m.
3 a.m. We at the party. I'm talking about New York parties at this point now.
Like 3 a.m.
I was talking about New York.
Because we partying late now.
At 3 a.m. I feel like it's time for that.
But I said pull up to the party. I'll be there around 3. You feel me?
I'll fuck with you.
And I said party. And then I said shining brighter than a diamond in this party.
I thought you was picking her up from the club.
See, I can see that though. I can see that though. I can see that though.
At this point, it could be interpreted.
At this point, it mean what everybody wanted to mean.
Long as y'all like it, that's what matters.
That's what matters.
Long as y'all like it.
It mean whatever you wanted to.
But that goes back to tie into what a lot of times what a person may perceive about the music is how they're perceiving said character.
Yeah.
And what they might think about your character. So the more they know about the way you think, the more they may interpret the music appropriately in regards to how you thinking about it. Because if I said it, it might have absolutely been completely a sex song with the same exact words.
Yeah.
So it's always about how somebody can interpret the music, you know? Another thing that I also like, just bringing back the bars on 95, is when we first talked, you said, I rap, but I really want to make good music. And you wanted to get into your singing bag. And I seen, like, since then, since that last round where you even introduced it, you segued it into your portion, the singing. You did like a hook on your portion. And I think since then, you kind of just been 100 miles forward to where you just, if that shit ain't got the melody, I don't feel like I'd even heard it. Like now, you just in your bag with creating. So do you feel like people try to box artistry when they know you for something at first.
Yeah, like for sure. So that I
Especially
feel like,
with rap, for sure.
yeah, especially with rap, it's like it's definitely like something you get sucked into. I mean, especially with drill. I noticed that when people jump into the drill lane and they're maybe they're doing it because that's their sound or because it's a trend, whatever. But I notice when people get in there and they try to move and do something else, like I see their people's like, what are you doing in the comments? And I'm like, damn. Like I feel like some things are harder to get out, move away from. But I feel like with me, I know how versatile I am as an artist. So it's always been in the back of my mind that I have to get these people used to not being used to a certain sound.
I feel like that. It's always been like that with me with battle rap because I've always been known as a spitter. And like my claim to fame in town kind of was I was one of the first niggas battling at a high level. And then I kind of just stopped completely because I realized that people wasn't listening to my music no more. They just wanted to hear me battle. And I'm like, yo, my goal has always been to be a great artist and make good music and create. So to keep myself out of that lane, I just stopped doing it completely. And a lot of niggas be like, damn, bro, you could have been one of the niggas on Smack that really was at the top level and representing for us and doing things. But I said I just knew what I wanted for my career.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to get myself trapped there.
I think that's another one that's tough to get out of is the battle rap.
It's the battle rap.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't, my only issue personally with New York drill is I feel like a lot of it is cookie cut. And when I say cookie cut, it's like niggas pick similar beats, they use similar voices, they use the same flows, niggas use the same words, cadences. It's like drill has the ability to evolve, but niggas have to evolve it. And it starts with actually being a good fucking rapper a little bit. Like learn how to be a rapper first and like what Tommy said, learn how to put the weed in the bag first, then get money.
And let me say this, because you saying, because I feel like I should say this when you saying be a good rapper. Like I feel like I'm seeing a lot of people that are like, oh well, they can do it, I can do it too with this music shit, and
or for the money,
or for the money. And listen,
disrespectful to us.
It is in a sense, but let me say this too though. Like when I see somebody who I can tell is not serious about this, they don't really want to do this, they're doing it for the money. I respect it because they got to feed their family. But when you get in it and money is the goal, I just feel like A, if you don't blow up fast enough, you're gonna get tired of this shit because there's no passion behind it. B, if you do blow up fast, the shit that comes with it is gonna eat you alive because you haven't even thought about this shit beyond the money. Like niggas we really doing this because we love the craft. So it's like we've weighed out all the, we've planned out our life based around this career path. So we know what's going to come with it. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like when people say, oh, well, they can do it, I can do it too. I hate that because it's like, no, you cannot. Like, it's going to be tough for you out here. This is... Like,
you guys, Kels, that's one of my biggest pet peeves is like people who want to play with music.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not here to play.
Yeah.
Like, diluting
the art.
I don't even care if you're not one of the best. If you come with a passion and you want to learn and you want to get better and be progressive, then I'm willing to do the work with you.
Mm-hmm.
But a nigga, like you said, any person who's only driven by money, you're always going to be able to tell the difference because of the lack of passion they put in their work.
Yeah.
And work that lacks passion doesn't last.
Yeah. Because there's no soul behind it.
There's no soul behind it. When the last time you listened to one of these niggas and felt anything but anger, like, I want to hear a nigga.
I love that you're saying
I want to hear a nigga music
Mm-hmm.
and get the chills sometimes because I just feel it in my soul a little bit. The only thing this shit isn't inciting is anger.
Yeah, I love that you're saying that because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I love that you're saying that because Nova actually had a supporter the other day write to her and say, "I love your music because I'm not just listening to it, I'm feeling it. Like you feel the music," and that's for her song Mileage that is actually blowing up right now because it's a song that everyone can relate to because we've all been doubted. We've all been an underdog one time or another. And it's just a song that really kind of brings out that emotion. You know what I'm saying? Because too many times we so focused on the goal, we don't really realize the feelings that we're carrying around. So when you listen to a song like Mileage, it just gets you in your bag. Like, yo, they doubted me, but this is my year. I got God on my side who could be against me. That puts a good battery in your back. It's not talking about I'm going to spin the block on you because you doubted me. It's more so like, no, I got God on my side who could be against me. Like, you're going to you have the right person by your side and the only person you really need backing you throughout your whole career path, you know? So that was another thing Nova actually really wanted to start doing, that she stuck with it. Like, she don't really want to do gun bars or really aggressive rap, even though she's just so good at it, you know what I mean? And it's fun to do, but she kept her word and really tried to stay away from that, you know?
I mean,
that's all I was doing when I first started really rapping online.
I think everybody starts like that because that's what you kind of grow up seeing and listening to. I mean, honestly, like for me, I lived a certain way, like at a certain point in life, so I understand it because I come from the environment. I engaged in the actions.
Yeah,
I get it, but then it's also room for progression.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you listen to my music from when I was 21, my music is super violent. But I always had songs about chicks and shit too. But I was just way more violent because I was just living way more violent. And it was a reflection of my lifestyle. I talked about trapping way more back then too because it was a reflection of my lifestyle. Now, if you're listening to me as a grown-ass man, hey, I'm not going to rap like a little nigga because I'm not a little nigga.
Mm-hmm.
So if my music don't resonate with you, listen to something else.
Yeah.
But it's for the people that need to hear it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not above certain things. It's just, hey, you overdoing it.
Yeah.
Everything in moderation, bro. Because it got to be more to you niggas than spinning the block on the op.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to what you trying to accomplish or do. Is just spin the block on the op. Like after how long I'm supposed to listen to that shit?
Yeah.
And what I think sometimes niggas is not paying attention to is that your audience grows with you. And if you don't grow as your audience is growing, that's when certain artists are unable to maintain success because your audience grew up, but you didn't grow up. So now your audience don't listen to you no more. And guess what? You're the old nigga to these new young niggas.
Yeah.
And for the young niggas with a brain, you look like an old nigga with no brain.
That's deep. That's so true.
You look like an old nigga trying to be a little nigga. So now we don't respect you.
Yeah.
Because you're not even looking like an OG at this point. And I think a lot of niggas not paying attention to that. And then for a lot of them, you live a certain way because the only thing you putting into your ear in your life is negative energy. So you live in that
100%.
way, and then niggas be dead or getting murked off, and it's like, well, that's what you signed up for.
Really,
that's what you attracted. That's what you
attracted. And that's kind of what we're talking about is that we don't even listen to that type of music. So for Nova to be putting out that kind of music,
it's crazy.
We also believe in that. We believe in the laws of the universe. You feel me? So if we putting out that type of music and sending that message, we could be changing the course of someone's life because we might not be living that life, but somebody could listen to a certain song that might really make them feel some type of way.
Maybe they're really influenced by me.
And really be influenced by the negativity and the, you know what I'm saying? So I love that you said that. Yes, that's 100% true.
Yeah, no, it's facts. Sure. It's facts, man. I feel like it's so important that we start like really like paying attention to what we listening to, because I mean, even now today we be finding out like when we be seeing certain stuff online, like music is powerful, and this shit can be used to tear up a community. I mean, to tear down a community or bring up a community. And I'm not saying that we can't put it all on the artist either. So if you got an artist saying, yo, I'm spinning the album on the block, I'm spinning the block on the op.
Not to cut you off, hold your thought. You can never blame this shit completely on the artist because you at home as a listener have to have a mind of your own to understand 100%. That this shit is entertainment still too.
Yes.
And we don't blame actors in movies the same way we blame artists.
I always say this.
You know what I'm saying? It's not fair to just put it, it's the music you making. No. These niggas is choosing to go outside and do certain things. My son listens to certain stuff, but he got a daddy in the house that's going to tell him, nigga, I wish you would.
Exactly. We got to at some point hold the parents accountable.
You got to hold yourself accountable. You got to hold the parents accountable. It's a lot of accountability that needs to be had. Like, before you could try to blame it straight on the music.
Yeah. And when I'm talking about this too, though, I'm more so talking about, I'm not even really talking about the gunplay. Like, let's put that aside. For me, like, I'm more so talking about the depressing music that's just like, all right, so if you listen to my song Mileage, right? I talk about the downside of it. I'm like, yo, niggas did me dirty. I've been through this, I've been through that. But we're moving on from that. and we're gonna make a difference. So I feel like there's no solution in the music anymore. Like it's really just there's no keep your head up. There's like, yo, my head is down and it's always gonna be down.
That's
like, damn.
That's because we they strayed away from violence for a little bit, and then they were able to make depression the
I mean,
market.
that's worse.
They were able to make mental health and depression the market.
That's worse than the gun
now,
music,
so
bro.
So now you got another group of basically black emos that run around in this depressed state. Because let's be clear, like I started taking therapy at one point to try to beat a case. So I'm going to the therapist to go to court and this is going on, da-da-da. And then in that process, I learned a lot about myself, which was depression. As we try to, what we know about depression is people are sad.
Yeah.
And when I'm in therapy, the first thing they tell me is, listen, depression is not always associated with sadness. That's just one spectrum of depression. Depression can also be associated with agitatedness and anger. So then I remember running around my whole life just being an angry ass young nigga because we was growing up fucked up. So it's like I kind of grew up depressed, and a lot of us are growing up depressed, but we don't realize it's depression because we're like, nigga, I'm not sad. Yeah, but you agitated and angry all the time because you're really depressed, and you don't know that that's a signal of depression. You know what I'm saying? So we got to become a little more educated too. I feel like, you know, one of my favorite artists growing up was DMX. And I felt like just as ignorant and negative some of the X shit was, X was going to turn around and pray for niggas.
Yeah.
X was going to turn around and give niggas another song where it was R.I.P. Grandma and stuff like that. It was, the music was constructed of color and layers, like art should be. Because I feel like every human being comes with layers.
Yeah.
I'm not always this, I'm not always that. I'm a person of layers, so I'm going to give you the layers in my music. Mm-hmm. And depending on what song it is, you're going to get a different layer or a different picture. But like we said, like when it's straightforward, just this, and it's all negativity, it's like, damn, y'all little niggas ain't doing nothing positive.
Yeah. And I mean, too, I feel like it's just kind of what's being pushed the most, really. Like when you think about it, like every time I'm on TikTok and I'm scrolling and I hear like a pop song, that shit make me feel good. It's like, it's Friday night and we're having good times. And I'm like, all right, cool. But then I'm scrolling and I'm hearing music in our culture and it's like, I ain't even going to get into no specific lyrics, but it's like, damn, we talking about domestic violence. We talking, it's like, bro, let's go viral for some good shit real quick.
It's tough, man, because we never blame the consumers.
Nah, right.
We never blame the consumers.
Even the consumers don't blame themselves. They're like, you the reason.
And it's like, yo, if you don't like it, don't listen to it. And if nobody's listening to it, it'll fade away.
Yeah.
But y'all listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
So whether they're pushing it in your face a million times, you're learning to like it and you're listening to it. So as long as you choose to listen to it, well,
you got a choice.
You get what you get.
Yeah.
You get what you get. Like the consumer is just as much to blame as the people who create certain things.
Yeah.
When a movie sucks, nobody goes to the movie theater to see it. What happens? They take the movie out the theater. Nigga shit goes straight to DVD. Or used to, that was the thing. It goes straight to DVD. Now your shit go to streaming fast. If niggas not really fucking
It's
with
a little different now, though, too, like with TikTok, because you don't even really got a choice to not listen to a song you don't like because it's behind every video that you want to watch.
I'll be honest. I really don't, I don't get on TikTok that much. I should get up there more.
I learned a lot of
I know it's super useful for, I just be into the politics of things too. And the second they started talking that certain shit they was talking about TikTok, I don't want to put out negative information that may not be honest about TikTok. I understand how it can be used. I just personally wasn't up there like that. I don't use it as much. Maybe because niggas say it's addictive and I don't need to be spending a large portion of my personal time scrolling TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, you don't got to be a consumer either when you're using the app, especially as an artist, you know what I mean? Like, I think Sam Smith was the one that said it. He's like, I post something and I get off. Like, that's how I use it. Like, you can use TikTok in that way because, like, it's, especially for musicians, like, it works, man.
I'm gonna use it appropriately.
It works.
I'm gonna use it appropriately.
It works, but like you said, though, you don't want to be like consuming too much either, though.
Because
for sure.
when I'm not outside as much as I used to be, well, now I consume concepts and ideas through social media. That's how I see what's going on in the world, like through there. So TikTok is where niggas is giving me the bulk of the content. Yeah, I might get sucked down the rabbit hole. And
it is one of those apps if you like that for sure. That's happened to me a couple times, but it's all about educating. And to be honest, as a musician, the reason I really would recommend TikTok is because the conversion rate is really high.
It's one of
so
the
on
highest.
Instagram, whether they know you, whether they don't know you, whether they're a new supporter, no matter how much they love the post, no matter how viral it is, it's very, very hard to get someone to click a link.
Facts.
Even if you put it on your story and say, click this link for my new single, they still won't do it. Is
Even
that
if
real?
somebody validates
Is that deep? On TikTok, a post goes viral, they're going to go through the ends of the earth to find out what's the name of your song.
Yeah.
They're going to download it. They're going to buy it. They're going to look at you on all platforms. They're going to follow you on every single platform. TikTok is the consumers up there are different. I wouldn't even call them consumers, the supporters. You know, the supporters are unreal. Like nothing like I've ever seen in my life. Instagram don't do it. Facebook, I guess they'll be number 2. But when it comes to conversion and really just getting your music out there, TikTok is where it's at.
Yeah, people gonna click them
or just
links.
anything, any kind of business, whether you're selling even a lip gloss, the support is real.
Yeah, really. She's telling facts, bro. Like with TikTok, you can have a post that does 1,000 views.
Well, it speaks volumes that Benja Back got 1 million streams. Benja Back hasn't even made a year yet.
Yeah,
a year is in April.
When I put April 8th of last year.
April 8th of 2022. We're not even in April 8th, 2023 yet, but that song already has over 1 million streams at this point.
No paid promo.
No paid promotion.
Bro, listen, not $1.
Not $1 went into promoting
just
that
straight
song.
love.
Just marketing, though. Marketing. Which is putting yourself out there. Nova was putting herself out there, making sure she was and also showing who she is as a person. Yeah. I feel like her character just played a big role in helping her push that song and who she is as a person. She's just fun like that. But Benja Back got over 1 million streams organically, and it hasn't even been a year as an independent artist.
Mileage
with no
almost
label,
at $500,000.
And mileage at $500,000.
No promo
almost.
Again. I spent $1 on this. And so just to piggyback off of what she said, because that's a good point when you ask me like what advice I could give someone who's trying to use the internet to bring their like brand up, their music up. Like she said, these people love me. Like, I'm showing them who I am. Like, a lot of my posts that are doing well, like, yeah, like, it's just my music. You hear my music, but the music has a lot of substance. But on those posts that, like, before all of that, like, what made Benja Back do what it does was that I was letting them hear my voice and see my personality. Like, I would cut on the camera and I'd be me. You know what I mean? I'd do my little skits. I'd be like, yo, man, listen, if I was a DJ, this is how it would sound. Yo, it's Novabigsteppa, Hot 97. You heard it here first. And just showing them who I am. Because I feel like a lot of the time we get kind of, like, wrapped up in like what we see bigger artists doing, but we can't really like do that too much. We gotta kind of just, while you're on the ground trying to get this shit up and running, people need to like you. You know what I mean? They need to be like, oh damn, like her vibe is fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of like what we spoke about. So I feel like the best way to do that is by showcasing your personality. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're a boring person. Some people like boring people.
Exactly.
It don't matter if you're not super fun. Some people don't like to be all super cheesy in the camera. Maybe it's somebody that's like, yo, she smiled too much for me.
Yeah.
She too happy all the time. I don't like that
fact,
shit.
Though. It's so true.
Yeah, but you know,
and we understand that, but your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yes.
And we always talk about that. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Be yourself. The more you are yourself, the more your people are gonna find you. Be yourself. We like people who smile too much. We love people who are super, like, just positive outlooking on the world. And it's okay if you're a serious person and you want people who are more serious and down to earth with it. You know what I mean? We have our heads up in the clouds all the time, and that's just how we want to live our life. But never doubt who you are as a person. Be who you are, and your people are going to find you.
There's an audience for everything.
There's an audience for everybody.
I'm going to let y'all save something, and I ain't going to let y'all give them everything in one session, man. Hey, Novabigsteppa, Miss Big Stepper. You know who it is. Tony Blanco, GODMC, man, your host for today. I'm going to start letting other people come up here and ask the questions too, man.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yo, y'all make sure y'all tap in, though. Listen, man. Mileage streaming everywhere right now. Novabigsteppa. Novabigsteppa. Mrs. Big Stepper. The Mrs. MRSBIGSTEPPA. Y'all tap in with us. We got a couple pages together. Steph and Nova. STEPHANDNOVA. Y'all tap in with the catalog. I'm telling y'all some vibes in there. And yeah, man, shout outs to you for having us out.
Yes,
man,
thank you for
course,
having
of course,
us.
Always.
Good vibes.